great to have you join us today on a fresh episode of Business Trends, our financial news magazine program. I am Tolu Ajayi. Do join us again.
Nigeria, Africa's biggest economy, is beset with many uncertainties as well as endless possibilities. The synergy of the public and private sector is pivotal to the emergence of a sustainable economic growth pattern that will benefit all citizens. Watch Business Trends, the platform where experts, public and private sector policy strategists, CEOs and regulators share their views and opinions on the growth prospects of the nation's economy.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to Business Trends for today with me, Tolu Ajayi.
Watch Business Trends at this time.
You're welcome. The program is Business Trends. A high-powered committee made up of top officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria and other experts in the oil and gas sector has been inaugurated to sanitize operations in the nation's liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) industry. We now bring you the report.
A high-powered committee made up of top officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria and other experts in the oil and gas sector has been inaugurated to sanitize operations in the nation's liquefied petroleum gas industry. Director General SON Osita Boloma said the objective was to address the challenges and dangers faced by substandard petroleum products in the nation's economy.
Yes, it's actually SON's response to the incessant explosion and havoc caused by substandard LPG cylinders, valves, vessels, and so on. Because it became alarming that a lot of human and capital resources are wasted because of poor handling and management of substandard LPG products.
Among the terms of reference given to the committee are to sanitize the LPG sector, ensure professional and ethical practices by operators in the filling plant and retailers' shop, report any incidents of unethical practice and substandard products to SON, especially roadside and illegal fabricators of substandard LPG tanks and cylinders. Aboloma said the agency has also reduced the cost of testing and certification of LPG plants and outlets by 50%. This, he said, was to cushion the effects of the harsh financial environment currently being faced by operators in the industry.
We've reduced the cost of testing and certification of LPG plants and outlets by 50%, so that we cushion the effect of the harsh financial environment on the stakeholders, and to encourage them to abide to standards and quality.
The Director, National Metrology Institute SON, Engineer Obiora Manafa, said the terms of reference are very clear, saying that the committee would work relentlessly to sanitize the sector.
A couple of thousands of cylinders into the society. These are the things that we welcome. These are the things that we should encourage. If there's any permit that you need us to, any waiver that is within the law, that is within our powers to do, please feel free to let us know.
Members of the committee promised their commitment to the cause of protecting lives and property of Nigerians as well as investments.
You're watching Business Trends. The federal government has approved the engagement of a Malaysian-based consultant to conduct a study that will aid the implementation of the National Economic Recovery and Growth Plan at a cost of 450 million naira. Minister of Budget and Planning Udoma disclosed this at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo Wednesday in Abuja. Here is the report.
Speaking after a 2-hour closed-door meeting, Minister of Budget and National Planning Udoma said the job of the consultant is to identify relevant stakeholders in both private and the public sectors for the implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan of the federal government. Udoma explained that the study will be conducted on agriculture, transportation, gas, power and processing.
The Executive Council approved a memorandum that was brought by the Ministry of Budget and National Planning to retain some consultants to help us to conduct some pilot labs. This is part of our implementation strategy for the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan.
Also arising from the Federal Executive Council meeting, Minister of Power, Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola disclosed that approval was given for the construction of the Gombe-Biu Road at the cost of 27.23 billion naira. The road connecting Gombe and Borno states, according to Fashola, will take 24 months to be completed.
Two documents. One was a memorandum that required council's approval. The other was a note to inform council, but they're important because they follow closely and interrelate very importantly with the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan.
The Federal Executive Council also approved the revised National Building Code.
Prominent Nigerians have emphasized the need for Nigeria to develop its export capacity, insisting it is the only way forward. One of them, an Abia State Governor, Dr. Ajayi, says the Made in Aba campaign he is embarking upon is yielding positive results.
It is no more news that Nigeria, the acclaimed giant of Africa, is still grappling with economic recession, a situation that has been widely attributed to the failure of the manufacturing sector of the economy. Economists often argued that an economy that exports only raw materials would rather make the citizenry poorer. Hence, the development of local market via encouraging the manufacturers in order to improve foreign exchange forms the core of discussion at the 2017 Public Policy Forum held in Lagos. In his contribution, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Ajayi, lamented the economic situation in Nigeria and urged everyone to embrace made in Nigeria products.
Nigeria, which is supposed to be at the apex of the pyramid, to drive that spirit of patriotism, to make us look forward to what we can do for Nigeria, is a country that is in dire need of ownership.
Professor Ivy Elamo, who represented the Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, said the unemployment rate in the country could only be tackled by encouraging local manufacturers. He said the recent executive order issued by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is to encourage the ease of doing business in the country.
Our insatiable appetite for foreign products at the detriment of the locally made ones remains a devastating economic drain, which has contributed immensely to economic recession in Nigeria.
Earlier in his remark, Ambassador George Obiozo said the country is in dire need of leaders that would work for the development of the manufacturing sector, jettisoning religious and ethnic interest for the good of the country.
The issue of homegrown solutions and comparative market advantages are becoming critical to sustainable development and political stability.
Ikpeazu said his administration is making efforts to develop an industrial hub in Nigeria, using Aba as an example while collaborating with foreign investors to exchange technological know-how.
And finally, on Business Trends today, we continue our interview with the Lagos State Chairman of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Dr. Segun Musa, as he speaks to issues around the Nigerian maritime industry.
So the single window is all-inclusive. And if we have to embark on single window, it must be properly supervised, it must be properly managed, and it must be properly taken good care of, because it has a lot to do with national security beyond revenue collection regarding import and exportation. single window is a welcome development.
The Nigerian Customs Service is still battling to fully automate its systems and procedures, while its inability to reduce the human element in cargo clearance. Now, would this not hinder the single window platform adoption and success?
Interestingly, single window is to address the need for us to have a minimized interaction, physical interaction between individuals, the custom, the freight forwarders. Everything must be streamlined online. Everything must be online. And we are saying Nigerian Customs has a role to play when it comes to importation, exportation, revenue collection, trade facilitation. But beyond that, single windows have more purposes than that. And it will not hinder reducing personal contact. It will enhance that, and it will serve the purpose of trade facilitation. It may interest you to know that before now, we have a scenario where customs will come with a policy. We want to facilitate trade between 24 hours. Your cargo land, you can clear it, exit it, and take delivery. And the NAFDAC will say, no. Yes, if you are through with customs, you are not through with us. Standard acquisition, if you are through with customs, you are not through with us. Yes, customs are saying 48 hours. We are saying you must meet our own requirements. At the end of the day, the bulk of the blame will be going around. You won't know who to actually focus on causing delay in the chain of clearing and exiting cargo from the port. But we are saying, no, we are not interested in whether customs is ready to give us 48 hours or 24 hours clearance. We are not interested whether NAFDAC is going to enhance 48 hours. We are only interested in the system giving us 48 hours or 24 hours. Not any individual agencies coming up with the utterances of we can achieve this. No, we don't want that. We've told the customs time without number. With most of the policy that comes from the customs, we've told them, no, we are not interested in you giving us 48 hours. We're interested in all the agencies collectively giving us 48 hours or 24 hours. And that's the only thing that can enhance trade facilitation. Otherwise, if customs says have given them final release of the cargo, we've done necessary endorsement, we've done exit, and MDLA says, no, you can't go. You still need to be there. At the end of the day, the essence of 48 hours, 24 hours of custom has been defeated. Coupled with the fact that our port needs to operate 24 hours a day. It's only in Nigeria here that customs operates only 5 hours. The Grand Handling Company operates only 5 hours a day. They resume by 9 o'clock, they open their warehouses by 10 o'clock, commence operation by 10 o'clock, by 12 o'clock they are on break. They resume back 1:30, that's 1.5 hours break, and they close by 4 o'clock. So when you had the operational time together, everything, the Grand Handling Company, the terminals are giving us is just within the framework of 4 to 5 hours a day. And they will charge you for 24 hours. To me, I've told the handlers, both the Grand Handling Companies at the port, at the airport, the terminal operators at the seaport, especially the concessionaires, that what they're doing, we call it intellectual fraud. And if we are to get things right in this country, the government needs to make them to understand that what they're doing, it's a crime. And it's punishable. It's punishable. They are hiding under the pretense that government is not giving them the enabling environment to operate 24 hours, but we are saying, especially the concessionaires, if government has concessioned the port to you, it is expected that you must be able to give basic infrastructure that will enhance your 24-hour service or 48-hour service in the port. As part of 24 hours a day. Because if people are paying storage because of your inefficiency, then it's a crime. And we are hoping and looking forward that both at the aviation, at the seaport, presently at the seaport, I'm aware that some of the ports are operating 24 hours a day, but the efficiency needs to be there. Take for instance the seaport. 24-hour seaport is like 8 hours, because it's interesting to know they also go on break. They don't give service as expected. Probably they claim that the port is so choked, and they can only accommodate if they have to deliver about 200 containers in a day. They will end up delivering about 50 or less than 100 in a day. And the reason is not far-fetched, it's fraudulent practices, because they are making more money on storage and damages. So they prefer to reduce the number of containers that will be loaded in a day. They will frustrate the lorries to stay outside. That's why, aside the bad roads in Apapa axis, part of the major problem within that environment are artificial, that are constituted by the port operators, especially the concessionaires. They will deliberately allow only few vehicles to access the ports, especially their terminals and their warehouses. And they will load only few, allow so many to wait to offload. Ordinarily, if they are efficient, the ground handling companies, if they are efficient, along with the shipping company, they should be able to have an outside terminal to discharge their empty containers and look for a better time to transit them back to the port for offloading. Pardon me, for loading back to the origin. But what they do, they allow the empty containers to come the same time you want to load, and at the end of the day, the whole place is congested, and the importer and the freight forwarder are the one paying the excesses. Cost the shipping company and the terminal operator now see any more revenue, which I call illegal revenue, from storage and container detention as well as damages. So we need to actually look into all this, because it will not assist our industry, and it's not assisting our industry.
Now, how do you view the operation of cargo business in Nigeria when compared to other advanced countries? Yeah, it's me also interested to know that cargo business in Nigeria is still at a very greener stage. We've not started tapping into the potential of cargo business in Nigeria. Cargo business in Nigeria has a lot of potential. Besides the fact that it can actually create a lot of job opportunity for our teeming youths, it will also increase the volume of our revenue in terms of imports, in terms of exports, because as we speak today, the major problem we have in this economy is that of balance of trade and balance of payment. If we are not doing enough exportation, definitely the currency will continue depreciating. But when you improve on your exportation, then you can begin to look at, yes, the value of the currency will be appreciating because of the balance of payment. And it's also interesting to know that our ports are so small compared with the kind of traffic we are importing, as well as we are also exporting. We are envisaging that now the government is trying to diversify into other sectors, especially agriculture. We need to improve on the facilities we have in our ports. Our ports do not have enough facility that will enhance and encourage exportation. We need to work on that. The ground handling company we have in Nigeria are so small. We have only two, only NACO and SACO. They are very, very small. They cannot actually serve the purpose of our exportation if we eventually move into exportation. The facilities they have cannot also accommodate the kind of our projection for exportation. A lot of people are picking interest in going into farming. A lot of people are going into production of items that can actually be exported. And if we are looking in all these holistically, and we're looking at the facility we have on ground that will serve and accommodate most of these expectations, definitely we are not there. And it's also interesting to know that probably because we've not been doing much of exportation, both NACO and SACO export warehouses are extremely very small compared to the projection for 2018.
I expect government to begin to look inward and see how we can deregulate that sector by encouraging more people to participate into ground handling. Two ground handling company cannot sustain us. I've proposed to government a few months ago at a stakeholders forum that we need a minimum of extra 4 to 6 ground handling company. It may also interest you to know, by the time you have more ground handling company coming into Nigeria, you begin to see either foreign ground handling company or indigenous. You begin to see more airline coming into Nigeria because they're coming. Some of the airline that has been working with them for quite some time believe in their efficiency, and probably they've not been coming to Nigeria before. They begin to come into Nigeria, and it's going to create a lot of job opportunity. It's going to create a lot of technical know-how transfer into our youth, and it's going to improve our revenue both at the local government level, the state government level, and at the federal government level. I actually propose 4 ground handling companies that will be situated within the corridor of a local government behind the airport called Ajayi local government. And the 2 ground handling companies I proposed, one for transit warehousing. Today we want to make Nigeria to be a cargo hub in West African country, and we don't have a transit warehouse that can actually accommodate such. Within that confine of Ajayi, we can situate a transit warehouse. So cargoes that do not have their final destination in Nigeria can be warehoused pending the connecting flight to the final destination. The second one is export processing warehouse. As we speak today, in the whole federation, we don't have export processing warehouse in Nigeria. And if we are serious about diversifying the economy, about exporting our cash crops, about exporting our vegetable, our perishable items like vegetable, like mango, like yam, and the rest, we need export processing warehouse where those exports will be well packaged, well labeled to meet international standard. If we don't have that, nobody will buy your produce, especially in commercial quantity. And the 2 remaining one is just to consolidate the effort of the 2 we are having as ground handling company. The 4 can actually be located within the corridor of Ajayi, facing the apron side of the airport. And I believe if we can work on that, it will add more value. And again, for the cargo business, beyond looking at ICDs, I also propose to government that we can actually make our canals to be a source of transportation for warehousing. We can actually situate warehousing within the corridor of canal. I've done a good visibility study about Ajayi confine. Ajayi have a capacity to actually dredge the canal that will accommodate barges that will lift cargo from the vessel on the IC, and it will be dragged towards the corridor of Ajayi, and those items will be unstuffed in the warehouses. So people can also go to Ajayi to also clear their sea import cargo. And I believe by the time we begin to look into all these advantages that has been abandoned for years, then we begin to look inward as improving our revenue, improving our commerce, improving our technical transfer to our locals, and creating more avenue for government revenue to improve and increase so as to attend to basic infrastructural needs of our country.
We'll bring you the concluding part of that interview tomorrow on the show. That's Business Trends for today. Thanks for staying with us. I am Tolu Ajayi. Let's do business again tomorrow. Bye for now.